Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa. Hey, thank you again for tuning in to watch another exciting episode, and I hope you are inspired to watch it to the end. My name is Fafa Gilbert and I love creative African cooking. So where you're going to be learning our traditional ways of cooking as well as my twisted way of cooking as well. Now today on the menu, I have something so exciting, as usual, with my twist. You ready for it? Okay, let's go. And today on the menu, yes, I'm making KONTOMIRE jollof rice. You're like, what, But this dish is actually inspired by the Nigerian native rice. And it's similar, but of course, with whatever ingredients that I do have, that is what I use. So this is an inspiring recipe, and I hope you do enjoy it and you are inspired to try it. So here are the list of ingredients that you will need for this recipe. You will find the transcript and the full recipe on my blog ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. Let's start cooking. So here I have got my mackerel fillets that I'm actually just going to place under the grill. So it would give it this beautiful, smoky and lovely texture that would work well with this recipe. Alternatively, if you can find smoked mackerel or any smoked fish of your choice, you can include that into this recipe as well. So at this point, preheat your grill to 180 degrees, and I've just made little slits on the mackerel and just placed it in the oven, and that's going to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now my next ingredient that I'll be using is the Guinean Kobe. Yes, you heard me right. So Kobe is the Guinean salted fish, which is actually made out of tilapia. Now, because of the salt content, I'm actually going to steam it just for about 5 minutes and also add my onions and petit bell chilies or bakbushito to it. So the steaming would actually extract some of the salt content out of the fish and as well allow the onions and chili to actually infuse into the fish as well. So I'm extracting and also infusing at the same time. But do not throw the stock away because I will also use the stock for the jollof rice later. But of course, I would just use half of it and I use water for the rest because of the salt content. To a saucepan, or in my case, a frying pan, because I'd like you to see what I'm cooking, add your palm oil and melt your palm oil for about 40 to 50 seconds. At this point, add your steamed Kobe or your salted fish, whichever you choose to use. And so I've got the petit bell chilies and also the onions that's been steamed and also some fresh onions, and I'm going to be frying this gently for about 3 minutes. Yet again on a medium heat, because all I'm allowing to happen here is to allow the infusion of flavors. So I want the fish, I want the chili, I want the onions to actually introduce the flavors to each other, so they can marry in this pot here, or in this case, frying pan. At this point, I'm actually going to be adding my beautiful ginger blend, which is ginger, onion, aniseed, as you always know that I do use, that I've actually blended into this beautiful mixture. And I'm going to be frying the oil in this. Yet again, I'm introducing the spices and flavors into the oil. So yet again on a medium heat, I'm cooking it gently, and it's almost getting there. As you can see the oil is actually settling at the top. After 3 minutes of frying, add your chili powder. Now this is optional because it depends on how spicy you want your dish to be. You can omit it altogether. And fry this gently for about 2 minutes. So whilst frying, just make sure that you do mix everything till it's well combined. Now I'm actually going to be adding some shrimp powder. You can use crayfish powder as well. Now this will give the dish this fishy taste, and it would give it this smokiness and just loveliness or umami taste that this dish actually so requires. So fry this for another 3 minutes, and at this point I'm actually going to be adding my tomato puree. I've just mixed it with a little bit of water, and I'm going to fry this whole mixture for about 5 minutes. As I always say, I do not like waste, so I always ensure that I rinse my bowl with whatever excess is in there, and I include that. So I'm mixing everything here now, and my sauce is just perfectly ready. Now, this is where the infusion is going to take place. All the, the flavors, they're just going to marry each other, and you can just see the stew is ready because you can see the oil settling at the top. So whilst you're actually making your stew, it's a great thing to actually start with your rice. What I mean by that is it will be time saving if you actually did this to your rice beforehand or whilst you're making the stew. So by the time the stew is ready, the rice is also ready for you to incorporate into the stew. Now this is actually purposes for videoing for you to see what it would be like. But you can actually just place your rice in a sieve and run it under cold water until the water runs clear. Now if you're actually doing it this way, it might take you about 3 to 4 attempts to actually rinse the rice till the water runs clear. Once that is done, drain that water off the rice and boil your kettle. Yes, you heard me right. We're partially boiling this rice. So at this point, I'm just adding the hot water to the rice. And once I do that, I'm actually going to cover it with a cling film and leave it for about 10 minutes. So it means that the rice would partially cook and it saves you time. So now that the stew is perfect, it's time now to actually add your partially cooked rice to the mixture. Add it and mix everything together till it's well combined. Now, if you've actually watched my previous jollof rice recipes, you would notice that I do like to fry my rice in the sauce to allow the flavors to incorporate and to infuse naturally. So at this point, it's actually fried for about 3 minutes, and it's now ready for me to actually add my stock. Now, remember that I did actually reserve the Kobe stock, and I also do have some fish stock. So I've mixed the two together, and here I'm actually adding my stock to the rice. And I'm just going to mix everything together till it's well combined. Once combined, it's now time to actually cover your saucepan, or in my case, my frying pan, with its lid, because I'm going to trap the steam in, and it's the steam that's going to cook the rice. Now, because I've partially cooked this rice before, it doesn't take long for this rice to cook. I'm actually going to be cooking this for about 10 to 15 minutes, and my rice is done. Look how perfect this rice is. I use basmati rice for this recipe. Equally, you can use your jasmine rice, your brown rice if you wish as well. And I've just got some pre-cooked prawns, and I'm just going to be adding it to the rice now because I'm going to use the residual heat to warm it through. So traditionally, kontomire is actually cocoyam leaves, but I don't have access to the cocoyam leaves now. So I've actually got some spinach, which I'm roughly chopping, and I'm going to be steaming this spinach in the rice as well. Now, if you do have the cocoyam leaves, then you need to steam the cocoyam leaves for about 5 to 7 minutes. Don't forget to chop the cocoyam leaves if you're using it for this recipe. So the jollof rice is still warm because it's on a very low heat. And of course, I've actually added the prawns, and I'm now adding the shredded spinach to it. Now, this should take you about a minute and a half because you want the spinach to actually keep its greenness and its nutrients as well. So I'm just going to cover it with its lid and steam this, and it's almost ready. So now my mackerel is actually ready because it's been in the oven and it's very hot. This is so funny. I was burning my fingers whilst actually taking the skin off. I don't know why, because I was like, oh my God, did I forget something? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. So the mixture's actually been steaming for about 30 seconds, and at this point I'm actually going to be adding my mackerel pieces. So yet again, I'm going to allow the infusion, but I'm mixing everything together. As you can see here, that looks beautiful. And then I'm going to add my mackerel pieces, and this is almost done. Now, as the mackerel pieces are also warm, I've mixed everything together and turned the heat off at this point because I'm just going to allow the residual heat to infuse the mackerel flavors now into the rice. Now, I know that I was playing earlier and I was going like, oh yes, I forgot, I didn't forget. But the reason why I actually left the mackerel to last is just to make sure that it was still chunky and whole in the dish. If I had placed it in earlier with the stirring that I did, then it might break into pieces. So that's the reason for it. So here we do have our KONTOMIRE jollof rice. Now I've got to do this now. This is not any other food. Ndudu ya. Well, you know, yes, what was I saying? I'm just saying that you should try this recipe. It's one of those must try. Go ahead.
If you do like what you see, please do not forget to click that subscribe button like now.
Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, try the recipe, and please do share with your family and friends. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Ndudu by Fafa. Now you can find the transcripts for this recipe on my blog ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. Do check it out. It's also in the description box. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, take care of you.